All right, I am Shayna from Fangirlish. How's everybody doing?
Great, really good.
How are
Good, good.
you?
How are you?
Just another day in paradise. Um, so I'm then gonna throw this out kind of in general to all of you all. What brought you or attracted you to this particular project and your character?
Well, I would say I love shows like this. It's super heartwarming. There's so many themes that I think are universal for everyone. It centers around love and also loss and grief and chosen family. And so I was really drawn to the series. And my character specifically, I feel like I'm pretty similar to in some ways. She's pretty driven and type A and pretty sophisticated and knows what she wants out of life. And I really aligned with that. So that's why I was really excited for the show.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would say I would echo similar things about the show. It's just it takes place in a world where you can feel the love and you can feel the warmth from the friends, from the family, from the community, and that's something that when you leave your home to be an actor in Los Angeles, for me, it's something that it's a nice source of home, and that's kind of immediately very attractive. And as far as my character goes, Cole Walter, I there were a lot of parallels in my life and in his life. Identity post sports career, something I had a similar thing with my I played hockey growing up, so his is football, but kind of restructuring who you are after that and figuring out who you are in high school. It's so relatable and something so easy for all of us to pull from. So
Thanks.
I completely agree with what both of these two have been saying about the idea that there's a sort of sincerity that underpins this story at its core, and that in combination with with some of the lighter YA elements of the show and honestly comedic elements of the show, I knew it was just going to be something that was so much fun to actually do day in, day out. On top of that, my character Alex is such a sweetheart, and that's not a side of myself that I often get to embrace. I tend to be more drawn to characters who are sort of antagonists, and so to get the chance to showcase a sweeter part of myself was super enticing. So all of that.
Okay, so I was actually, so in terms of you bringing up some of the funner parts, I did have a note about, was there anything specific for you? And then we'll just go through Noah and Nikki kind of backwards from what we just did. The most fun part that you got to do.
Oh, that I got to do? Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, that's such a tough question because I swear there were so many fun parts. I'll go through them. I think the most fun was the horseback riding for me. And I was very privileged to work with Mark and Bailey, our two riding instructors, as well as John Scott, who everyone in Calgary knows. And I got to ride a horse, I mean, like 3 times a week. We actually went horseback riding, all of us, on my birthday, because I got to celebrate my birthday over the course of the show. And we went on this like 4 hour scenic horseback ride through the mountains, and it was awesome. And then we all were like, that was great. Why did we do that when we get paid to do this like 3 times a week? So that had to be the most, that in addition to spending time with people that I genuinely felt and consider to be family, the whole experience was a treat. So
Noah?
yeah, I would say the horseback riding was incredible, but I would I would want to put a spotlight on the stuff that we did together. That in this show, there's a lot of family scenes. There's a lot of times when we would all get together, all the brothers and sister and Jackie and all the parents, and you just kind of have the freedom to be a family. And I mean, I remember one part in particular at the end of episode, I think it's episode 1, where mom and dad are just kind of talking about Jackie getting there. and they just gave us free reign they gave us like plastic swords, footballs. We were all messing around. Like, it was almost one of those moments where it's like, this is a job. It just didn't feel like it. It just felt like you were being able to be a kid and play catch with your friends and brothers. So that one sticks out in my mind. It's just like, it warms my heart even thinking about it. So
Well, I'm going to steal both of their answers. For me, hanging out with everyone was such a highlight. I didn't get to do it as much on screen, because Jackie's the one who doesn't quite feel as comfortable with everyone. So that was a little different, but definitely off screen. I mean, it's so fun hanging out with every single person. And definitely the horseback riding was a huge highlight. I love horses so much. I love all animals, but I love horses. So it was really fun. And it was fun to learn how to do cattle herding, which I think I was the best at, if these two will agree.
He was the best at it, in fact, and it came out of nowhere. And then it's one of those things where like leading up to it, you never would have guessed, and then after it happened, you're kind of like, of course that happened. You were the best at cattle herding, and Noah was the best at Catan. I was the best at nothing. I was.
I don't know if that's fair.
I don't think that's fair at all.
Cinnamon rolls from Cinnaholic.
I mean, the actual horseback riding, Ashby's not gonna give himself credit, but he basically anything that you see in the show horseback, he could do. It was me and Nikki would look at each other like, how long has he been riding horses for?
Yeah, it was a hidden talent. I mean,
Yeah.
I was jealous, to be honest.
That's too kind. You guys are too kind.
And I would rival him for the cinnamon roll eating too. I wouldn't give you that crown so easy.
Give me a run for my money, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that kind of weirdly plays into one of my other questions I had with the brothers and how they kind of misunderstand each other. They each think the other one, there's that big blow up toward the end. I don't want to give too much away. But where they get into their fight and it's, you've always had everything. Oh no, it's you. Aside from what the characters seem to misunderstand about each other in that moment, what do you think might be something that viewers, to get ahead of it, might misunderstand about each of your characters? And I guess we haven't started with Noah yet, so let's kind of Noah and then rotate around.
Yeah, of course. No, I think it's a great question for me to start with, because I think if you take like the surface level casual summary of a character, there's some people that will maybe say that there are some jerkish aspects to Cole Walter. There are some some of the jock at high school stereotypes. He dips into some of those, and I think people view him as some of those, and he plays into some. And I think the thing that is going to be misunderstood is maybe how much of an impact everything that's going on around him really has, where something may happen in a scene and there's a feeling of like, oh, hey, he doesn't really care. Does he care about this? He doesn't care about anything. That's not the case. He just doesn't know how to show it. And he doesn't know at this current junction of his life, he doesn't really know who he is and who he is post football career, who he's going to be post high school. All these things are happening for him. All these things are changing. And he's feeling behind in that race. So I think the misunderstanding will be that he is that, like, varsity jacket, catching the football, throwing it back, but he's just lost all that. So his navigation of that loss is the part where I'll ask, not ask, but I'll be interested to see how deep people view that. So,
and quickly with Nikki and Ashby, it looks like we're running.
I think for Alex, it's very similar in the other end of the spectrum, in that there's a similar like it'd be very easy to be reductive about both of these all three of these characters, and say that, Cole is just a jerk, Alex just hates Cole, Jackie is just a lost puppy or whatever. I think that's easy to do, but I think that's entirely incorrect. And for me with Alex, the trap that I was trying to avoid falling into was that he just hates Cole, which is so not the case. He loves Cole a lot, and I think he grieves for Cole in a lot of ways because he feels like he's lost his big brother that he can no longer connect to because of the difficult past and the tension that they have as a result of Jackie coming into their lives. And so I think that in that blow up you're talking about, one of the best parts about doing that scene was it was the first moment in the show where I really got to treat Cole like my big brother, as opposed to this enemy figure that I had throughout the rest of the duration of the project.
Thank you. Nikki, quickly, I think there.
Yeah, and then quickly, I would just piggyback off of what these guys said. It's all three of the characters, I feel like you could put them in one single category, but they are all so layered and have different reasons for why they do the things they do. And I feel like you get to learn about them, and it comes out throughout the series in a really nice way. And you could feel so many different ways about each one.
Thank you guys. I'm looking forward to everybody seeing it. Think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so
very
much.